February 21st, 2021. We're gonna do another yoga Tabata flow using your smartwatch timer that you can download for free. You're gonna click on Tabata. You're gonna keep the 20 seconds of work. You're gonna change the rest to 0 seconds. And we're gonna do either 60, 80, or even 100 rounds. Usually 80 is a good number, but if you're tight on time, you only wanna do 20 minutes, then do 60 rounds. It sounds like a lot, but it's just 60 movements. So, again, if you haven't done this before, the timer just keeps you moving. So you hold each pose for just under 20 seconds, and it just keeps you from going too fast through the movements. Okay. So no warm up, we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna start in downward facing dog. So from plank, I'm just gonna pike the hips up and down dog. I'm gonna bend my knees and look at my knees and press my chest towards my legs. Normally people are tight and they kind of end up here. So knees are bent, pressing my chest towards my legs. So I'm actually in extension with my back as opposed to flexion. You can just hang out in down dog. You're here for 20 seconds. You can move around a little bit. You can reach and stretch if you need to, if you're more comfortable, but just hanging out in that downward dog. Again, knees are bent, hips are high, that's the position. Then I'm gonna do runner's lunge. So I'm gonna take my left foot and step forward in between my hands. If it doesn't make it there, because I'm tight, I'm gonna pick it up and put it there. So no excuses for not getting it there. Once you pick your foot up, get it in between the hands, and we're gonna frame the foot. So my hands are on either side, and you're gonna hold this for 20 seconds. So a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of work. And then I'm gonna do eagle pose. This is one that's a little bit new, but I'm gonna come all the way up to standing from here. So third position, eagle pose, come up to standing. Maybe you need that foot to help you get up. But once you're here, find your balance. I'm gonna put this leg over top, and my arm's gonna go over top. In real yoga, it's the opposite way, but just to keep us on the right page, my right leg is on top, so I'm gonna put my right hand on top, and then you can either clasp your hands or just leave them like this. If you're unsure and it's too confusing, just put your hands together. And then I'm gonna sink maybe a little bit lower. Some people can wrap their foot around, but it's not necessary. I am gonna lift up my elbows and sink low. So think about your elbows and your knees coming away from each other, and just kind of a fun little balance, as well as work for the leg, stretch for the shoulders. And then I'm gonna go into warrior 3 for 20 seconds. If you need rest, take it, but I'm gonna go into that T balance. So leg is lifted, chest is lifted, you got here, this is your warrior 3 with, so you can see me, still with your eagle arms, right? From there I got crescent lunge, so I'm gonna just step back. I'm just gonna adjust so I'm in the camera frame, but from that warrior 3, stepping back, crescent lunge, I'm gonna lift my chest with this one, so elbows even higher. I'm sinking low again with my legs. This is your warrior 3 with the crescent lunge, all right? In yoga, you can kind of think of trying to go in opposite directions. So my legs are trying to go low, my chest is trying to go high, trying to lift up there. From there, I'm just gonna come to standing. So I'm gonna move back just so I'm in the frame. I'm just gonna come to standing. You can do whatever fancy stuff you wanna do with your arms, but arms are gonna go overhead, knees gonna come into the chest. This is the easier position. The harder one would be extending that leg all the way out. This is called big toe pose or leg extension. Your quad might be really on fire right here. And then from here, I'm just gonna come to standing. So after you're here for 20 seconds, you have just standing. And usually with standing, I try to look up. So you can either be here. I also like to press my palms together and look at my hands. So even just doing that straight up, look at the great back bend I have. I do not stand like this all day. Normally I stand like this all day, doing the dishes, bent over. So this is a huge piece. I'm not even going for a back bend. I'm just looking at my hands. You got here for 20 seconds, and then forward fold. You can swan dive. You can bring your hands down through center, just any way you can get down, but just take the stretch. My knees are bent. My head is tucked. So even if you're pretty flexible, which I am, my legs are not straight. They're just a slightly bent, so that I'm not putting any pressure on my back. You can grab opposite elbows, you can just hang out, you can move around, but again, 20 seconds in that forward fold. From there, we're gonna go into plank. So planting the hands, go into plank, okay? And then I'm gonna do left knee to the tricep and right knee to my tricep. So I'm gonna take my knee and bring it up to my tricep. So the trick is, it's not going to my wrist, which is where you're gonna wanna go. I'm actually gonna try to get it to my tricep. So the trick with this one is the back foot. You can see my back toes. I'm going to point them to bring me forward. This would be like a beginner position if bringing the knee is too hard. But when I bring my knee in, my back toe points to get me up. So you're gonna do left and right, and just one is enough for that 20 seconds. If you wanna do more, you can. And then I have up dog. So I'm gonna drop my hips down, and I'm actually gonna go all the way down and kind of readjust. I have really tight shoulders, so I'm just gonna make sure that they feel comfortable. And I have upward facing dog before I go back to downward facing dog. So we'll do that whole flow again on the other side. I forgot to say this, but I have a shoe right here to tell me that I was on my left side first. I'm gonna move the shoe over to the right side so that I know I'm on the right side next. So downward facing dog. If you're unsure of what foot, you could move your shoe here. Again, bend the knees, lift the hips, pressing my chest towards my legs, trying to relax the shoulders, and I am pressing up, so there is a lot of activation. I'm not just resting on my joints. I'm gonna take my right leg this time, step it forward, and now you know how to get that foot up. So if I point that back toe, now I can actually get my foot in between my hands. Again, just moving back so I'm in the picture frame for you guys. And then from here, I'm gonna stay here for 20 seconds, and then I have eagle pose. So I'm gonna come up, maybe kind of play with my balance to get there. I'm gonna take this leg over top, this arm goes over top, and it doesn't really matter if you do the opposite hand. I just want you to do, obviously left and right. You can hook your foot if you've got it, go low with your legs, tall with your chest. You're here for 20 seconds, trying to just look forward. From there, I have a warrior 3. So maybe I rest with my both feet down, or maybe you go right into warrior 3. Leg is lifted, chest is lifted. This one's tough. Bend the standing leg for balance. And then crescent lunge. So I'm gonna bend my knee over my toe, has to do that to land softly. Your knee can go over your toe in some situations. Okay, so low with my legs, tall with my chest. Whoa, don't lose your balance. And then I'm just gonna come to standing to do that leg extension. So you've got a lot of time here to transition. So you really won't be in this standing pose for that long, because this is really tough. I think 20 seconds for me is like the max that I've ever done. This is a extremely hard pose to hold. I'm trying to not lean back, keep my standing leg up, chest nice and tall, extend the leg. Maybe it's down here, maybe you just pull your knee into your chest. Even this is really good. It looks so simple, but trust me, it's hard. Heart rate's gonna be up because the arms are overhead. And then I'm just gonna come to standing, shake everything out. And then whatever you wanna do with your arms. Maybe your arms feel like they need to be here, maybe they need to be here. I'm gonna press my palms together and look right at my hands so I get this nice back bend, because that's what I need. You gotta do what you need to do. From there, you're going back to that forward fold, bend the knees just to protect the back. Make sure you drop your head here. A lot of people hold their head up like I am, but I'm talking to you. And then I'm gonna go into that plank. So keep the hands where they are, step back, you can jump back or step, whatever you're gonna do. And then you can just hold plank for 20 seconds. You can do one set of these, or you can do a couple sets. You can even hold that knee up. So if I bring my knee to my armpit and I really hold it there for a few seconds, woo, that's money right there. So I only have one set in, left and right, but you've got a good 10 seconds to almost hold each side. So that'll be really challenging there. And then once I go to that upward facing dog, again, you can kind of adjust what you need. Some people lift up their legs. I like to let mine fall. Sometimes it kind of depends on the day. Moving around a little bit. Maybe you don't want to go all the way up. Maybe you want to keep your hips on the floor and just press up a little bit here. That's really nice. Maybe you're going to do a few press ups because your back just doesn't feel warm, and you're going to do these. From there, I'm going to go back to down dog. Through those bent knees, tuck the toes, back to down dog. I'm going to look at my shoe, move it to the other side. Now I'm back on that left side. So that left and right, that was 20 rounds. So if you're unsure on the timer, it doesn't matter. You can, just keep going. But you've got those 10 moves to do on the left, 10 on the right. That's your yoga flow. All right, guys. See you later.